Hi everybody, I am back. So I just am going to do a quick flip through of the book and then we are going to work on the cover. So again, this is what we have, Nature Calls. I did print out some pictures to put in this book, but I think I'm going to put the pictures in the final video when I talk about the whole album instead of the follow along. So again, this is what we got, and so I was putting them kind of where I wanted them. As you can tell, I was still in the thought process. And so this page, and I did, instead of stamping out some journaling tags, I went ahead and I actually printed some. And so here, let me see if I can get a close-up of this, of what it says. Let's see. So one of the pictures I'm going to put on there is of my grandpa, actually, because it's his great-grandpa, my nephew's great-grandpa, and it says his favorite way to eat fish is when great-grandpa makes it, because he puts a nice crust on it. And it's, I guess it's his secret, because I really don't know how my grandpa makes it. But there's several different stuff in there about his favorites, like his favorite fish, his favorite type of game to hunt, and just little titles like that. And then there was some I found on Pinterest that I thought was cute, where it says hunting, fishing, loving every day. I know that's a country song. That's one of my favorite country songs. But just tons of little titles that you'll see in the final album. And I did type out a little story for one of the pictures. He actually found a deer at the high school when my sister lived right by the high school, and he really didn't want to let that go. It's a sweet story, but anyways, like, here's a picture of my nephew when he was little. He was really proud of this fish that he caught. He's just so adorable. He's 15. He's gonna be 15 in October, so he's grown up now. And just some more pictures that I'm going to put on this page, but I didn't want to lose them. And then here is, this page. And I did stick a picture in there already, just because I knew that's the one that I wanted in there. And then, let's see, there's this page. And then, of course, blank in there. I am going to leave some blank spots in there because I don't have pictures of him hunting, but I know that his grandma does on his dad's side of the family. So, again, this page. Again, that's the picture I wanted in there. And then here is the last page. So, we'll go ahead and set this album off to the side because we are going to work on the cover. And some of the images I printed out for the cover are, again, from the Camping Critters cartridge. We're going to use this scene and this title on it. So, let's go ahead and get started. I better actually, I was going to use my glue gun, but I think I'm going to use score tape on most of it because I feel like the score tape would be better for me right now. I think I'm low on hot glue, so I don't want to risk it and be out in the middle of the tutorial. So I cut out this at 2.5, and then this I cut out at 7.5, or 7 inches, and then the length of it is 9 inches. So I wanted it to be quite a bit bigger than the actual book itself. So as you can see, there's going to be a lot of room, especially on the side. So let's see, I'm going to use my double-sided tape to tape this down first. One of the things I like to do for the cover is just kind of tape it so it stays in place. It's going to get covered anyway, so I'm going to tape that. And just because of my preference, I'm weird, I like the cardboard to be the picture to be facing down and the cardboard to be facing up. So we're just going to make sure this is really sticky. And we'll put that right in the middle. Okay. Hopefully that's the middle. And on the first video of the follow along, I do have a tutorial that goes a little bit more in depth about the binding system and the cover. Just in case those of you who are new to my channel. So I'm going to leave about that much space. And then I'll cut that off a bit. Okay. What a long day. It's about 3 o'clock over here, and I just got off work, and I had been there since 4:45 this morning. Actually 4:30. 4:45 was my clock-in time. But I am definitely beat, and I will be sleeping good tonight. So, but I figured I was going to wait until Friday to do this video, because Friday I only work 4 hours a day, and the weekdays I work pretty long, so I could have a short Friday, but I was really in the mood to do scrapbooking today, and plus I actually have another project lined up for, I guess you would say she's kind of my sister-in-law. She has been dating my brother for a few years now, and it's like we've known her for a while, so kind of my sister-in-law. But anyways, I know this is pretty large, but I'm just cutting off these corners so that way we can fold them in and it's going to look nice and neat. So, and then I was looking through my paper stacks to see if I can get another mini album going after that one, and I did not even know I had several new paper stacks. I knew I had bought a lot last month in February because it was like National Scrapbook Month and Joann's was having a sale, but I did not realize just how much I bought. So I'm pretty sure I have enough for at least like 6 more mini albums. Or 6 more videos. So I'm going to try and pace myself. But it's also kind of exciting because when I get new paper, I do get really inspired by it. And I just want to go, go, go. Which is kind of the reason why I think I'm doing this today. And I've been scrapbooking almost from after work. We usually make dinner. And then about 6 o'clock I come into my scrapbook room and I scrapbook until 8, and then I've been doing it all over again the next day. And so I'm just trying to get these pages looking nice. So I'm just folding them before I actually glue them down. Not glue them, but I'm going to use a score tape, because I want them to just sit flat. So, like you see in my other video, I always do the top and bottom before I actually do the sides, because to me it just looks a lot cleaner. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, and this is my score tape that's 1/8 of an inch wide. It's really tiny, but I like to use this small amount, or I mean the skinny width, because I feel like I definitely have way more control over it than a larger one, because I always felt like I wasted more score tape when it was larger, because it would either fold in on itself or it would just, I don't know. I feel like some areas didn't need to be covered, and they were. I don't know. But anyways. So I'm just going to go in around this spine and make sure that it actually sticks to the sides of the binding. So So I'm going to get my burnisher. And then just kind of squish it down so I know that the tape is going to stay on the paper. And then here comes the fun part when you get to rip off all the strips of red on there. This tape is like so sticky, but it's the best. Every time I hear this song, I think of Beetlejuice. Such a funny movie. Alright, so now I'm just going to carefully fold that up. And burnish it with my bone folder. So there we go. As you can see, it's very nice and straight and clean. So we will do that on this side. Oops, what was I thinking? I put it on the cardboard and I was supposed to put it on the paper. I'm just putting 3 long pieces on here. If you can't see, I don't know if I'm in frame or not. Sometimes this camera is a little finicky, so you can kind of see me in frame. But just making sure we get all this secure. So have you guys tried making this album yet? I know some of you guys have said you were going to do this, which is a huge compliment to read. And it's always fun to follow along with your fellow scrapbooker, whether you're near or far. I think like the most exciting thing is that people on YouTube are willing to share their ideas, and it's so nice because sometimes you come across a lot of those tutorials where it's like you have to pay to learn their technique. And I mean, I understand, you know, everybody needs to make $1, but there are some times when it's like, okay, it's a simple fold or a simple this or a simple that, you know. I don't really want to pay for a tutorial. Which is why I don't like to do tutorials on Etsy, or, you know, you have to click this link to buy that, because I feel like if you can get inspired by my idea, that's awesome, because then it just inspires me to want to think outside the box for you, you know. And I've never been a greedy person with my ideas. I like to share ideas because I feel like that's how you become better as a community. Even in family, you know, like I've never been one to hoard an idea like it's solely mine, because that's just how my family is. We share, and you share ideas, you share thoughts, and, you know, if you don't like it, that's fine. You can move along, and if you do like it, you know, that's more people to enjoy something with you, something you have in common with each other. So, anyways, now I'm going to do these flaps in the inside. But yeah, so I mean, you know, and like I say that on my my Facebook page as well. I'm Lady J Layouts. Is like not here to, you know, oh, you copied my idea, you copied this, you copied that. I am here to share my ideas and inspire you to do your own. I mean, there's often a lot of times when I think I'm going to do exactly that layout because I seen someone else use the exact same Cricut cuts, and as I'm doing it, I decide, you know, it's not my style, it's not me, and I end up switching it. And then I get, you know, ideas from what I did then. So, I mean, I hope that makes sense as it's coming out of my mouth, but I just really enjoy when people can see my projects, because I love seeing other people's projects, you know. And if you I didn't post a lot of my pictures when I first started scrapbooking. Oh no. When I first started scrapbooking, because they were terrible. Like, my mother-in-law got me the Once Upon a Time paper stack, and I loved it, but I absolutely mangled it. It was just, I did not know what to do with such beautiful paper that I ended up just ruining it and cutting it up where it didn't need to be cut. And every time I think about it, it always makes me cry, because that is such a pretty paper stack. But yeah, but you know, everybody has to start somewhere. You know, everybody has to make their own way. And my mother-in-law, she's totally like I would say like a 90s style scrapper, where she likes to do collages and you know, use perfect pearls to amp up her stamps. She's a big stamper. I remember when I first got with my husband, we were only dating, and she had an entire room, I mean 4 walls, dedicated to just stamps. And I admired her so much, because that was my dream, to have a room like that. And you know, mine isn't as big as hers, and I don't do stamping, but my paper collection is pretty large, thanks to my husband. And you know, it's just something fun that you can call your own, and you have your little oasis in your own little house, you know, where you know you can go to and just be you, be free. And I think everybody needs that. So, perfect. Alright, so now, again, I'm going to burnish this. I don't think I burnished the other side. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take my bone folder and pre-squish those papers. So I ended up cutting out this envelope. It's a large envelope. I believe it is, let me see. It is 5.5 by 8. So it's about as large as this album. But what I wanted to do was put it here on the cover. So that way when he opens it up and has extra pictures, or maybe like a fishing lure or something special, he could just put it in there. And, you know, it also serves as paper that attributes to the inside. So the paper I chose for the inside was this flannel. I figured it looked kind of rugged, kind of cool. And so one thing I did not do yet is the inside binding. So let me see what I have. I should probably, this camel was cut too short. Oh, I have extra papers right here. Let's see if this is wide enough. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Alright, so I'm going to cut this down to 8 3/4. So that way, because our spine is 9 inches long. So we just want to cut off a little 1/4 inch to have it fit nicely there. So let me see. I'm going to cut this out. Ugh. Better measure twice and cut once, right? So, yeah, I think that'll work. So what we're going to do is cut this out at 6 inches. So each of these are 6 inches. And then I'm going to cut this out at 8 3/4.